Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. Let's meet your hosts, Chris Angel and Michael Maher.
Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of the Referrals Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Angel, and I'm here with your host, Michael J Maher, for our 50th episode.
50th
episode, 50.
50 is the new 40. Oh, wait, that's for age.
Could you have ever
50.
imagined?
I mean,
when we
who
started?
would have predicted that? There are people losing money right now because they bet Referrals Podcast was not going to make number 50. And then there's people it doesn't surprise me at all that they made 50,
Yeah.
So 50. That's
50.
50. That's big. That's a big number.
I feel so much closer to you after 50 episodes.
Yeah, it's like I knew you. It's like I know.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, listen, here's the cool part about episode 50. We've spared no expense, and we are bringing you the one and only Jack Canfield. Michael had an interview with Jack. Yeah. And look, we're going to drop you into that interview, and then we're going to come back on the end of that interview and kind of debrief it. I'll pick Michael's brain about what it was like to be interviewed by Jack and all that. So that's it, right, Michael?
That's it. I mean, the big thing, it's Jack Canfield. For those that don't know who Jack Canfield is, he's sold over 100 million books, right? Other than the Bible, Chicken Soup for the Soul is the top selling book of all time. It literally is the top selling book that's not the Bible, right? Right. And 100 million. I mean, that's not even joking. That's a crazy number. That's a lot of books. Yeah. And him and Mark Victor Hansen got together and shared Chicken Soup for the Soul, and then I think there's 188 Chicken Soup for the Soul for the teen, Chicken Soup for the Soul for the tween, Chicken Soup for the Soul for the toddler, Chicken Soup for the Soul for single moms, single dads. Right. Now I think there's Chicken Soup for the Soul for the transgender, right? Yeah, it's you name it, there is a Chicken Soup for the Soul. He started that. He started all that. And it started unbelievable. With a he had the thought of I'm going to think of a $100,000 idea, and he took $1. Don't tell the National Treasury. He based $1, right? And he put the 1, and then he put 00 with a marker. He took 00, comma 000 and made a $100,000 bill, and he taped it to his ceiling in his bedroom, so that when he woke up, the first thing he would see is this $100,000 bill, because at the time he had made $12,000 the previous year. So 100,000 is this crazy number.
Great. Yeah.
Well, so in a couple of weeks, seeing this he had a $100,000 idea, and he just thought, if I can get my story in the National Enquirer, then guess what? I think and if I just sold my story for $0.25 a piece, then I could sell it. And what happened is, the week after, he was speaking in a library, to 20 people or less. Well, one of the people that happened to be in his session was somebody who buys stories in the National Enquirer.
No way.
Yeah, and so long story short, he sold 400,000 25-cent articles or whatever it was, ebook, if you will. It wasn't an ebook then. Yeah. And then from there, it became the Chicken Soup for the Soul, the very first Chicken Soup for the Soul book.
Wow.
And the rest is history. And Jack is the nicest, most genuine, most down-to-earth guy in the world. You root for this guy, former teacher and still a teacher to this day. You'll see it in the interview that there are no pretenses. This is two guys chatting about business and life and everything in between. And it was an honor to be interviewed by him. I was very nervous. Yeah. Everybody that listens to this is if you like me, I think you're gonna love this interview.
It's a great interview.
If you don't like me, then why are you even listening to Referrals
What are you doing here? Yeah. So. This is a great interview. Awesome. Well, Michael, with that, we'll drop you guys into the interview, and then we'll meet you on the back end of that interview for more debriefing of the conversation. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Jack Canfield. You may know me as the co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and the author of the Success Principles, and also as a featured teacher in the movie The Secret. I'm here today with Michael J Maher. He's the author of 7L, the 7 Levels of Communication. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
So tell our viewers a little about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so Michael J Maher, author of 7L, the 7 Levels of Communication, have some other bestsellers as well. That has sprouted a community called the Generosity Generation. The book sprouted a community called the Generosity Generation. And what do? I'm a speaker, author, coach to answer that literally, but I really see myself almost as a heart surgeon. I cure calloused hearts for salespeople, entrepreneurs, and business owners who have been taught for many, many years that they've got to do it through hardcore closing, overcoming objectives, hunting, and cornering people. And I teach a method that's not based on chasing, but it's based on attracting referrals and attracting repeat clients.
Very good, very good. So I know you're passionate about your work. We were talking off camera before we started. Why so passionate? What got you into this, and why are you so passionate about it?
I'll tell you, I think the biggest reason is because it's a way for nice guys and nice gals to finish first. You know, now we are teaching a system that is based on love, generosity, and appreciation. And it's not fluff and stuff. This is not holding hands around a fire singing Kumbaya. This is strategic. It's tactical. It's practical. And people are putting it into place, and they are not only selling more than their competitors, but they're also living a lifestyle of joy. They're actually happy having sales. What amazes me is in salespeople, or in sales, people give you Glengarry Glen Ross, or they give you Boiler Room, or they give you The Wolf on Wall Street to watch to fire you up, right? And what's interesting about all three of those movies is at the end, they all either die or they go to prison.
Right.
That's our model for sales. It's like, no way. So we flip that over, and we have shown people a way to build their business on love, generosity, and appreciation. And now they're becoming the number one sales rep in their office. They're becoming the number one entrepreneur in their against their competitors in their area.
Now, you're already kind of answering this question, but you obviously are not the normal sales training program.
That's right.
Or sales motivation program, or whatever you want to call it. What does make you so different, other than the fact that we just talked about coming from that place of love and generosity?
Yeah. So thanks for asking that. It's one of those where one of the things that makes us different is, first and foremost, we run the 7L system. We run the 7L system that runs the Generosity Generation. So within our company, we are actually running what we are teaching. And that is unusual. Out there, there are great internet marketers who talk about referrals. There are great marketers who talk about referrals. We work only by referral. In fact, all of our business is 100% referral based, and we run the 7L system. So I do the day before the birthday call. I do all of the things that I teach. So first and foremost, that's one difference. The other is, in sales in general, they teach a chase and a prospecting approach. So we're definitely different than that. But even within the referral part of the deal, where people teach repeat and referral, they even teach some methods of chasing down people and pandering. And we don't. What we do is we teach attraction. Mm-hmm. We teach how do you attract people to you versus you chasing. So that's the primary way. Is A, we do it, and I do it, and I model it. And B is that we are based on love, generosity, and appreciation, whereas most sales trainings are based on upping their sales skills. We believe that you should up your servant skills, your service skills.
So I'm a big believer in attraction, because I wrote a book called Jack Canfield's Living the Law of Attraction.
Yeah, beautiful.
And talk a little more about that, if you could.
Yeah.
What do you teach people about that?
Yeah. So there are methods out there for all sales, but referrals as well, where they go to people's offices or they go to their homes to drop off an item of value, or go to different places to do different things. and it's still based on chasing. What we do is we teach about events, attracting people to you, board of advisors events, small group events, and also client appreciation events as a centerpiece of your program. So we teach, how do we get people to come towards us? How do we increase our influence? And I truly believe that we don't need to give gifts to people to have them work with us. I believe you are the gift. We are the gift. You are the gift. So what we need to do is we need to create authentic transformation in you. And the more you become influential, the more people will come to you. What people love about this is they get more sales. They love that. But what they love even more is that they become better people. They're improved, but bottom line is, imagine a happy salesperson.
Right.
That's what is our result. That's what we have at the end.
Well, one of my phrases, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Amen.
So if you're learning to do this in your business life, then you're bringing that home, you're bringing it to your community relations, all of that.
We believe in that alignment, right? Why are you one way when you go to work and you're at sales and you're hardcore closing and you're doing things you would never want anybody else to do to you, and then you go home and you're this loving husband, loving dad, loving spouse, whatever it may be? That doesn't make any sense. What if we could be who we are all the time? What is it that we want etched on our tombstone at the very end? That epitaph is not going to say #1 in sales in 2012. You're not going to have it right there. It's going to say loving husband, loving friend, loving dad, or whatever it may be. At least that's what mine's going to say. So what if I could be the loving salesperson? And guess what? In the old age, maybe this wouldn't have worked in the 90s, early 2000s. But we are living in the generosity generation. The ego era is over. Nobody cares if you're #1. Nobody cares about your numbers. What they care is, did you hear me and can you help me? And so that's what we teach is, listen, the old consumer was during the ego era. It was really about find me, sell me. Just if you can hunt me down, if you can find me and then sell me, that's door-to-door sales, right? And all the calls and everything else. The consumer's changed. They don't want that anymore. They want hear me, help me, which is they want you to hear them. And then even if you aren't the one to help them, you recommend who can help them to them. And that's the generosity generation. That is the era that we are living in now. The consumer is different. We've had to evolve.
I noticed you're wearing these black little rubber bands around your wrist, the generosity generation.
That's right.
And on the other side it says...
It's a secret message, like a Chinese fortune cookie, right? On the back side, it has actually, it says, do it now.
Do it now.
Right? It says, do it now, and you can actually fill the raised letters. And this is our do it now bracelet. One of the things that is a mantra that we teach in our programs is the do it now mindset, which is, it's so simple, people are astounded when they begin that it's actually going to work. But all we do is we have them repeat themselves and tap. Do it now, 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 7 times. And it is amazing. If they will do that 3 times a day for 1 week, they will find that they can overcome procrastination. They will have this do it now mentality. They'll be like tired at 6 o'clock. It's like, I really don't want to put this sign up. And then a little voice in their head will go, do it now. And they will put the sign up. And I've had so many emails and stories about people who are like, I didn't want to do it, but I remember do it now. And it worked out to their benefit, a big sale or a big program or something that they've been waiting to do that they finally did.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Now, you know that all these people that come to you, there's certain challenges they're facing and obstacles. What are the most common challenges you see, and how do you help people address them?
Yeah, so the first one is this going to work? Because they've been trained on this prospecting, cold call, chasing kind of mentality is the first one. If they've been trained in that, we have to untrain that. We have to train them to go into relationships with a spirit of generosity instead of the spirit of sales, right? Go in giving massive value first. So the first thing is we train them on some questions that they can use to give massive value first, or find ways to give massive value first instead of trying to sell or storytell or whatever it may be. So the first thing is change their mindset. The second thing is once they start implementing it, we attract a lot of givers. But as Adam Grant and Give and Take found out is that at the bottom end of the sales, there are the givers. There's the matchers and the takers, but at the very top end of the greatest salespeople, there are also givers. So what he analyzed and what I've done the research on is what's the difference between the salespeople who are the worst salespeople ever, and the givers who are the best salespeople ever. And the difference is the people at the top have learned how to receive. Not only are they generous givers, but they're appreciative receivers. The givers at the bottom, we call them the sacrificial lambs. Somebody says, how can I help you? Oh, don't worry about it. And trust me, they won't, right? But, but on the flip side is at the top, we call these the roaring lions. At the top, they understand that when somebody says, how can I help you? You answer with referrals. You answer with a way for them to help you. Because when you deny that other person a chance to help you, you're denying them that great feeling of helping you. Exactly. Plus, you're also denying them of value. What you're saying is when they say, how can I help you? And you say, no, you can't. You're saying, no, you have no immediate value to me whatsoever right now. But when we say yes to other people, and when they say, how can I help you? Then we are saying, yes, you are valuable. And here's a way maybe that you could help.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
Thank you.
So all the viewers out there that are watching this, some of them might be thinking, wow, I'm inspired by that. I want to work with him.
Yeah.
But they might have some reservations or whatever.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people?
I'd say come to an event. I would say you're invited to an event. Come to one of our events. We have Generosity Generation events. We have Referral Mastery Academy events. I would say come to our event and just experience. If you want to come as an observer or just spectator at first, please do so, because you're going to see tears in the audience. You're going to see a lot of laughter. You're going to see the show, but you're going to see tears when people realize that, you know what, I can do it. I can do it, be myself, and feel good about myself, and still sell a lot and be number one in my company. And I think that's the biggest thing is come. I invite them to attend, right? Or find testimonials online about what we've done. See what, don't listen to what I say about me, right? Find out what others say about me, and then if you're still interested, contact me. I'm here to help. I'm like a lighthouse, right? I let my light shine. I'm not going to run up and down the beach chasing people. I'm going to be a lighthouse of light. I'm going to shine my light with no hesitation, with no apology. Those who are attracted to it, those who want it, come on. Those who aren't, they're the submarines. They don't need me.
Well, I've never interviewed a lighthouse before, but I do think you are that. Very seriously, you just radiate joy and love and enthusiasm and confidence, and I can feel your caring heart. I'm remembering a educational quote, because I started out as a high school teacher, which was, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's right.
And I think that's really what you're saying here. And I just encourage everyone out there to definitely come and experience one of his seminars and workshops. Go to his website. I'm sure all the testimonies are glowing, because I can see why they would be. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate that.
I appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Michael, dude, that was awesome. That was awesome. Wow. Jack Canfield.
I was nervous. Like I was sweating, I literally, it was just, I even said the word overcoming objectives instead of overcoming objections. It was just like, it's just like, he's right there, I mean, we're and the thing is when you're doing an interview like that, you're elbow to elbow. You don't realize like how close you have to be when you're videoing those to make it look normal. Like it looks normal to everybody, but it's really like, you're like super close. Like we were touching knees. Okay. We weren't touching, but I mean, it was like super, super close. And, that guy's, he's the real deal, and he asks great questions, and he afterwards it's one of those where it's, he's the real deal. Right.
Where did it happen? Was it at like a studio or where did you do it?
House.
At Jack's house?
Yeah. Yeah.
In California?
Yeah, referred. Just happened to have a opportunity to kind of hang out, and it turned into that. So
you just had an opportunity to hang out.
Yeah,
like
referred.
Hey, let's just hang out. So you knew somebody and they connected you?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was fantastic, and I appreciate her for doing that. And and it was one of those where he was really interested in 7L and the fact that 100% of our sales are referral based and word of mouth based.
Yeah.
And he had heard the story, right? He heard the story of 7L, and it's very it's very similar to his, and very it's very law of attraction. Everything we do is attraction based, right? Everything. We're not going to chase anything. And it's going to be more of, it's attraction based. So, he's a big supporter of the law of attraction, of course. And,
of course,
and this book teaches the law of attraction based business, essentially, because, happiness is beautiful. Happiness is beautiful. Being happy is beautiful. Being in joy is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's attractive. And building a business based on love, generosity, and appreciation is attractive. It's very, very attractive when it comes to, and it's not just attractive, it's also influential. Love, when you are passionate about something, people are more attracted to it. Generosity, when you are generous, people want to reciprocate, which equals attractive and influential. And when you are appreciative, people want to do more things for you because they know when they do those things, it will be appreciated. So, this is a very attraction-based business model. And we were, two kindred spirits. I really felt that way.
How long were you?
Former teachers, and we still teach to this day. And we're both authors of books that, my book could have been Chicken Referrals for the Soul, right? Or, referral soup for the soul, something.
Yeah.
It's like, this is chicken soup for the business owner's soul, is running the 7L system. I truly believe that.
How long did you hang out with him then? Like before and after?
A couple hours. Yeah. So we had lunch. Just did like a, cold cuts, it's like, it's so like, people think everything's so glamorous, right? It's just like, I literally had like sliced turkey and American cheese on like wheat bread, you know?
Right.
Like, so like white bread, wheat bread,
down to earth
with mayonnaise,
what did you guys
on with a knife.
What did you talk about before and after, and including sandwiches? What did you talk about before and after the interview?
So, teaching, which was interesting. We're both former teachers. So we talked about, just coming out of the teaching profession and, the law of attraction. We talked just about attraction quite a bit. And The Secret, right? He was featured in The Secret, and The Secret was a national or a world phenomenon for quite a while. We talked about family, each of ours family. He was very interested in me and Sherry and Max and where I was from and where I live now, and same with him. And he's got people that have worked with him for like 17, 20 years. His just people are very, it's just like, he's great to work for, and they work for him forever. He asked me what questions that I wanted him to ask, and then he didn't ask any of them. That's not true. He did ask one of them, but it was just kind of interesting that, like, when he was asking the questions on air, it was like, we didn't rehearse any of that. Like, okay,
right.
I'm just gonna tell what I think. Which luckily I had practice because you helped me through 49 episodes.
Is he funny? Is he witty? Is he like very just contemplative? Like, what's his?
So he's not intense, right? So some people might think that he's like intense. He's professional, but he's laid back.
Yeah.
He's not super funny. It's not a. I don't. And maybe it was just it was more like you're just talking to a guy. It's like it's really grounded.
Like a normal guy, like a
not super witty, but I'm not sure if like the situation was ever like witty.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. I didn't know. It's funny because in the interview you talked about being a heart surgeon. I didn't know you were a heart surgeon. Surgeon.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, I'm not a heart surgeon, but I see myself as a heart surgeon where I cure calloused hearts, right? When you're in sales, when you're an entrepreneur, you are put into a position where they say, all right, you just got to go get rejected everywhere. Yeah. Well, what fun is that, And the way you protect yourself from rejection and doing these things that don't feel right with your soul is you protect your heart, right? You build up a callus on your heart. And what we're going to say is like, let's just scrape that off, the callus off, and let your heart be your heart. And just guess what? People are going to see your heart, and they're going to see how much you care, and they see how well you serve, and they're going to be really attracted to that. So
what's the thing? So I'm picturing that happening. Like somebody finds your book, or they find a book club, or they come to an event. Somehow they find you, and they come in with this sort of like a calloused heart. What's the tool? What's the thing that scrapes that off? Is it the conversation of love, generosity, and appreciation, or what makes that happen?
So yeah, I think no is the answer to that question, which is interesting, is that I think when I start like an event or whatever, and I start talking about, hey, listen, we help business owners build businesses based on love, generosity, and appreciation, which leads to an event-based business model, right? I think the first thing is they're like guards up because it sounds too good to be true, and it sounds like fluff and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And then I drop like 10 really powerful strategies on them. And then at the end of the like third one, they're like, I can do this, you know, A, because it doesn't cost anything to implement a lot of our strategies, right. And B, they work. They're very attractive. They earn you referrals. So it's the strategy that and what's so funny is when they implement our strategies, I literally just was checking our Facebook group for our event mastery class. And I love teaching this class because of comments like this. Celeste is in the class, and she's like, it worked. Oh my God, it worked. You know, it's like, this really works. And I'm like, duh. Like, of course it worked. I wouldn't teach it if it doesn't work, you know?
That's hilarious.
So what happens is it's like, all right, fluff and stuff. I'll try it because it's cheap, right? I'll try it because it's inexpensive. Right. And then they try it. And then like people are like, you're really cool. Or, man, it was great to see you serve. Or, you're really generous. And of course the person doing it is like, no, I'm not. You know, no, I'm not really generous. No, or whatever. They have all the head cheese that's going on. But the thing is they do 2 or 3 of these strategies, and people are starting to say how generous, appreciative, nice, you know, referable they are. And then you start believing it. They start believing it. And that's when they join CRT and you know, they soar, they take it to the next level.
I think that's I think it's the difference between, I mean, so many people are operating in the ego era, which you mentioned in the interview. That's then they come into an event like a Gen event and they get to experience like what love and generosity in action, like what that all looks like in a business form. And then they go implement, like it's like you said, Celeste is like, it worked. Oh my God, it worked.
If it wasn't strategic, I wouldn't be able to. I mean, there's a lot of events you can go to that are all kumbaya, self-help. Hey, here's more from Jim Rohn. Here's more from Tony Robbins. Here's more from Og Mandino. Here's more from all the self-help. I mean, and it's regurgitated, or it's all motivational and self-help and or Joel Osteen or whatever. And listen, we need that. Like, I love all of that, but there's a point in many professionals' life and many entrepreneurs' business careers where they're like, okay, what's next? Right? Give me something to do. I am motivated not by somebody like Tony Robbins does not motivate me, which probably I've spoken on the stage with him 4 times and I've spoken at Business Mastery and I've done all these great things. And it's one of those where, but I don't need that. Like, I don't need Tony Robbins to get me up out of my chair and have me yell, I own you, at a stranger who is sitting next to me in the audience. I don't need that. Like, I'm motivated, baby. Give me something to do and I'm going to do it, which is going to motivate me even more. So I'm for those people. If you want strategic, if you want a strategy or a tactic that's really practical, then here it is, right? And listen, if you're functioning with ego era mentality, if you think you're going to advertise that you're number one and you're going to get clients. That era is over. I was saying that we were in transition 8 years ago from the ego era to the generosity generation, and that's over with. We are in the generosity generation. Yep. So you need to replace this whole I'm number one and I'm going to talk about how I'm number one with I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And that's the mantra.
Yeah. And I know that your events, you mentioned that, but your events do a good job of distinguishing it, not just in how it works, but the mechanics, like the principles, the strategy. How do people learn about the events? Like, is there a place people go to learn more about the events that are coming up?
You can learn about events and even more. You can go to referco.com, referco.com. If you'd like to book me to speak, there's a great direct site, which is bookmichaelmaher.com. And you can come to our event. I mean, we have events all over North America right now. So probably an opportunity to see me speak very close to you and fairly inexpensively. So referco.com is a great place to go. And then the other thing, I love to speak, and I'm looking for speaking opportunities. It might be 5, 6, 7, 8 months down the road, maybe even a year down the road. And if you're okay with planning that far ahead, then give us a call, shoot a contact, go to bookmichaelmaher.com and let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm on a roll right now.
Yeah, I love it.
It's the evolution from ego era to generosity generation to influential age, right? It's happening right now. So
I love it. Well, leave us with one piece of wisdom that you pulled from your time with Jack. Like based on your time with Jack, what really resonated with you? What stood out about humanity? And
I think one of the biggest things is Jack has a helicopter level view of the business world. Like, he knows Dave Ramsey, he knows Darren Hardy, he knows Tony Robbins, he really identified how unique the 7L system really was. He was genuinely interested in what we're teaching. I guess that was a big, I work really hard and I put my nose to the grindstone and I kind of go to work every day. So he gave me that 10,000 or 30,000 foot view is, Michael, nobody's teaching that like that anywhere. Like, this is almost like faith-based business, and I don't know if I want to touch that necessarily, but it's one of those where he and maybe it's just Jack being Jack. I felt really special. I felt really important. And, that
feels good.
But it was just a really, it was very motivating for me to chat with Jack, because he identified that what we are teaching, A, is really important, B, is really effective, and C, nobody else is teaching it. So it's like, if you hear something like that, you're really motivated to spread the word and get the message out. And even if you're an introvert like me, you're like, you know what? The mission and the message is bigger than my wanting to stay home and have pajama day every day or cubby hole away from people. The mission and the message is big enough that I need to continue spreading the word, and I need to pour into my CRTs even more. My certified referral trainers, they're begging for stuff. We've done a good job, but we need to do an even better job of helping them spread the word and develop their businesses. So
amazing.
I mean, it was awesome. It was a pleasure and an honor to
what a treat.
Have that opportunity.
So good. Well, thanks for sharing that interview with us.
Yep.
Again, you guys can go to referco.com. You can also go to gengenevents.com. I mean, there's all sorts of, you go to referralspodcast.com. I mean, it just keeps coming, people. So make sure you go there, check out where the latest events are, when they're happening, and sign up for an event. Michael, thanks for a great episode.
50.
That was fun.
Can you believe we made it to 50?
Woo! I love it.
5-0. That's awesome.
Man.
Congratulations, Chris Angel. 50.
You too. Thank you. It's been fun. All right, Michael, we'll catch you next time. See ya.